Hello everyone, today we have a very exciting new video because as you can see, we have hot swapping returned to us. Currently, there's an animation cancel in the game. Essentially, you do a grapple and then you do your animation, and that animation is instant. So for that, we're going to be switching weapons using this to switch weapons very quickly and do lots and lots of damage. I actually have a very intimate history with hot swapping back when it was first discovered back in like season 12, season 13. I took it really far to the point of even doing things like double slug Xeno and fly rating all three weapons. I did this using a rotation known as quad swap. It was a very obscure thing that not a lot of people heard of, and it's now like 2 or 3 years old, so I wouldn't be surprised if you haven't heard of it. Not a lot of people have. It's a very uncommon thing. It was pretty much only for Taniks, and it was pretty much unnecessary even in low mans. So, however, it was extremely flashy, and it was very cool, and it was a great party trick, and I am happy to be able to do these new rotations. The meta has changed since then, so of course the good weapons for doing this have also. Instead of using Xenophage, we're now going to be using rocket launchers and tractor cannon for the most part. And today I actually have 3 rotations for you. We're going to be doing one with a Bipod rocket actually, one with a bait and switch rocket, a true classic, and one using tractor cannon. Before we get into any of the rotations, we're going to go over some of the basic mechanics that apply to all 3 though. First of all, what is the actual trick? The actual trick is using the grapple to cancel the animation. Essentially, you want to grapple and then immediately switch weapons as soon as possible, like this. This is completely spammable, however, if you mess it up, you'll lose your grapple, or at least half of it. However, there are ways to actually deal with this. The first way to deal with it is to be looking at a grapple point whenever you're doing this. That way, if you do fail and you do a grapple, you can just get your grapple back because you'll be hitting the grapple point. Another thing for Warlocks only is going to be the super. Whenever you fail and use your grapple, if you cancel it quickly, you still have half your grapple, which means that if you just throw your super at whatever boss you're damaging, you will get your grapple back immediately, and you can keep going. So you basically get like a 1 free mistake in a DPS phase. On Titans and Hunters, you can have 2 grenades, so you can just use the aspect on Hunters or the Armamentarium on Titans, and you'll have 2 grenades, which gives you obviously a free pass to mess up one of them. While I think the other classes are more forgiving by having several grenades, especially since you'll be regenning your backup grenade as you deal damage, I will say I think Warlocks still do the most damage just because they have the insane super still. Warlocks also have access to Ophidian aspects, which will help out for the rotations which can load themselves, and they also have access to Weave Walk with Rain of Fire for rotations which won't load themselves. Normally, Weave Walk with Rain of Fire is not a good combo because the reload takes over a second to actually execute. However, in a situation like this where we're reloading 3 completely empty weapons and shooting them off extremely quickly, it makes sense because we're forced to use Strand. If we could do this on Solar, it would be much better using Icarus Dash instead of Weave Walk, but this is what we have to work with. So, now that we've got that out of the way, let's get on to the rotations. What you do, you'll shoot your first shotgun, your second shotgun, your rocket, and you'll just repeat. And then you're going to do one more set of shotguns, a weave walk, and during your weave walk you want to switch back to the first shotgun in your rotation, and then you repeat. And when you do it this way, it means that weave walk puts 1 in your magazine, and then reconstruction very quickly after puts the second round back in the magazine, and you can do the full rotation again. And then when you mix in the grapple cancel, it looks something like this. This rotation will allow you to very quickly dump 12 of each shotgun and also all 9 of your rockets with bait and switch active for all of them. So it's a great way to get about 25 seconds of very high DPS. However, after you run out of rockets, you'll have to revert to just swapping back and forth between aggressive frames, which is not going to be very effective considering the amount of handling we have using quick swap. This amount of handling speed can pretty much just be given to you by using Dread of Ascent anyway. The last part I want to talk about is the shotgun choice for this rotation. We are using aggressive frame shotguns, as you can see, non-assault mag specifically, so that is extra easy to get. Ideally, you would want to use a solar aggressive frame shotgun, which will be the Mindbender's Ambition, as the only one in slot as far as I know, because it matches the Apex Predator, so your solar surges would work with it. I haven't farmed for a Mindbender's Ambition because it is so obscure normally. I'll probably end up getting it at some point though, especially with this. The other one I recommend is going to be the Ragnailed, and it's craftable so you can make it exactly how you want it to be. And it of course has access to autoloading and frenzy, so it's a great choice. You could also use a threat detector surrounded Imperial Decree if you wanted to, and it would also do a great job because you do not need autoloading with this rotation because we're using the Weave Walk Rate of Fire combo. Now, the other rotation we have is going to be the Bipod version, and I think this one is the most interesting because it does perform better in some situations than the bait and switch would. So for this one, it's either your choice of using lightweights without Assault Mag, or slugs with Assault Mag. They come very close to the Bipod rocket. Don't forget that Bipod actually increases the fire rate of your rocket, which is very relevant in this rotation. So I'm going to be using non-Assault Mag lightweights here, because I am preferring pellet shotguns for the most part, especially when using a rocket launcher. Now, the rotation is very similar, but we obviously have to hold out the first one much longer, and then each rotation has additional shots from each weapon. Obviously, with Tractor Cannon, using shotguns for your DPS special weapons is a great choice because it too is a shotgun and is already in its element there. The thing is that it is an 80 rounds per minute shotgun, which makes it the same as lightweights. Ideally, you'd want to be using aggressives with Tractor normally, but we're going to give it a go with lightweights, and it does work very good because they do have the same rate of fire, given you don't have Assault Mag. However, I will state, Tractor Cannon seems like one of the exceptions where it still feels very good to be using aggressive frames. If you do plan on using aggressive frames with the Tractor Cannon, I recommend definitely having Assault Mag on both, and also, since they have a smaller magazine, you'd want to use Tractor as the first weapon in the rotation because it has the largest mag, so you could do the longest cycle. Still watching, I just want to thank you for watching to the end of the video, and I know I've been working on a series about the builds for all three classes, but this came up in the middle of that, so I wanted to quickly get this video out. I'm also sorry if the production value wasn't as high as some of the other videos. I was somewhat rushed because I know this is going to be a limited time thing and that I'm already late to posting about this. So in the future I will have more production quality on the videos, and you can expect the Titan builds video to drop next, unless we have another massive thing come up.